Burning Rubber is social. Follow us on Instagram at Instagram.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Now back to more Burning Rubber.
And it's time for the weekly version of the show here, folks. And wrapping up this past weekend at Las Vegas Motor Speedway in Sin City and the Bull Ring and all that. All the different analogies that we've got for Las Vegas Motor Speedway here. And Andy, I'll tell you what, Seabell didn't get that elusive fourth win, but somebody that we know and respect very highly got Wood Brothers their 100th win.
That is Josh Berry. Now, wait a second. I thought the 100th win was last year with Harrison Burton.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and double check the fact books on that one, but
don't worry, folks. I freaking straightened his ass out for you here.
And he's already going to get these.
Well, but anyway, that was great seeing Josh Berry win and a great win too. Mm-hmm. Him and Daniel Suarez, they fought it out with 14 to go after the last caution. Berry pulls out and running away with it. Gets the big, I guess they call it a Wally in drag racing, but
yeah, in drag racing it'd be the Wally, but when it comes to the Cup Series, it'd be a full-on big old huge trophy. Which, and I've seen this on X this morning too, Andy. Speaking of Josh Berry winning the Cup race here, our good buddy Mark Martin made a post actually yesterday, shortly after the race, where he was talking about Barry's burnout not being quote unquote sufficient enough, where it's like, well, he works on the race cars, he respects the equipment, blah, 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 blah. And just everybody and their mother, they're like, yeah, that wasn't a burnout, man. Yeah. But the fact is, when they came back from the commercial break, you saw him, hit a couple of good donuts and then smoke the tires going down a little bit. That's more than sufficient.
That's an old Formula One thing anyway. I care less about it. Well, you do have to burn things down and throw a rod and bend the valves and everything if you're cheating. But, that's not what's going on here. But anyway, it was good to see Josh Berry get the win. So that was good.
It was.
There was also a heck of a lot of other things, but real quick, man, quick shout out to Seriously Fast Motorsports. We are partnered up with them.
Yep.
And a lot of neat things. We actually have our first interview of the year scheduled for this week. We got with Joey Coulter, got one of his drivers going to be on Wednesday and stuff. And for some of you rock and roll folks out there, a new band called Gunshine will be with us here in the next couple of weeks. So a lot of cool things coming up on Burning Rubber Radio.
Well, I'll tell you what, Andy, I took a listen to them, and now, granted, you say they're Southern rock, but I've got just the sound when I listen to it. I had like a cross between like Metallica, a little bit of I forget what all I said I was comparing them to. Just by listening to them, it didn't sound very Skinner-ish, which is what you were telling me they sounded like. So I'll tell you what, I want to open up the floor on Facebook here. And folks, if you get a chance to go listen to Gunshine before we have them on next week, let us know what you guys think. Do you think they sound like Southern Fried Rock, like the new variation of Southern Fried Rock, like Leonard Skinner style Southern rock, or does it have more of that classic like 70s 80s rock feel? Because that's where I was leading towards, more like the hair stuff, Andy.
And I didn't say they sounded like Skinner. Yeah. I said that they're Southern rock like Skinner was back in the 70s. Anyway, I said
Skinner-ish. Like,
let's get back.
Oh my God! Yeah, we've got to get back to things here. In fact, actually, we got to get back into the Xfinity series here before things get any more crazier. And I beat the crap out of this guy over here. But Justin Allgaier does it again this past weekend in Las Vegas Motor Speedway and holds off Eric Almirola for his first win of the season or not his first win of the season, excuse me, but his first win
Second.
at LVMS.
That's right.
And so we saw a lot of firsts this weekend.
We did too. You know, it was a good Xfinity Series race. I liked it. Good battle out there. Something I've noticed, Parker Retzlaff this year is just not hitting on all eight cylinders.
He's not. He's not.
Has just been struggling, where last year he was really pushing it and running up front in the Xfinity Series. This year, just not having the year that he did last year.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, hopefully, you know, as we get a little further into the season, we start to see that team turn things around and, you know, make some magic happen like he was doing last season. Because you're right, he impressed everybody last year, and this year, not so much. So we'll just...
but it's young though. It's still
races then. Exactly. The season's still young. I mean, we're only a handful of races in, so we can't say too much. But speaking of only barely a few races into the season here, we got to talk about the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series as well. They were back in action this past weekend in Vegas. And I'll tell you what, Corey Heim, Andy, I caught the highlights of this race. I didn't get a chance to watch this one. But Corey Heim made a near fatal mistake on pit road this past weekend, but
he almost.
But his crew definitely picked up the slack.
He came through the whole field to win this thing, man. What a race. It was cold as ice. It was sleeting part of the race. 2 red flags for rain, but it was sleet from what I was told out there.
Yep.
And threatening snow for the Truck Series race. But
which almost seems
run.
Which almost seems unfathomable to even believe is possible that it would snow at a NASCAR track unless you're somewhere like Pocono or Pikes Peak or somewhere else.
I know. I think the last time it was threatening snow, I was watching Robbie Gordon win at New Hampshire way back in the day.
That would have been, what was it, 1997, I think that was?
Heck, I don't remember, to be honest with you. It was a long time ago.
We just know Andy's
old. I got his
old.
car over here. I got his car and I got him sign it over here. He has a little die-cast car from that win. It was in the Lowe's car. I know that much.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, if it was his Lowe's car, Robbie Gordon, yeah, that would have been like 97 to 99, somewhere around in there, maybe 2000.
Somewhere in there. Yeah. Anyway, man, that was cool stuff. It was cold at Vegas. Great truck race, man. I just enjoyed that. Always loved the trucks, and of course I write about the truck series on Seriously Fast Motorsports. The article will be going out this week. You can check it over there, check it out over there. But I love the truck series. It did not disappoint this week either.
Yep, it did not disappoint either. So it's good stuff all the way around here. Now, one final article, Andy, too, that we can touch on here as well. Now that we've gotten the top 3 series out of the way here. And this is something that I got a feeling IndyCar might be onto something here. And I'll tell you why I say this. Because one of the most exciting races, or at least this is the way the article's written up here, one of the most exciting races added to the IndyCar series schedule in years. Now, again, they put a lot of embellishment when they say that right here. The Grand Prix of Arlington has announced its inaugural race date for 2026. So the IndyCar Grand Prix of Arlington will take place on March 13th through the 15th, with practice and qualification set for Friday the 13th and the 14th, Saturday the 14th respectively. And everything builds towards an epic race on Sunday, March 15th, featuring a national network showcase on Fox. Now, Arlington is going to be Arlington, Texas, not Arlington, Virginia, right. Not anywhere else. Arlington, Texas. They are going to build a full-out street course for Arlington, Texas.
Okay, I that's cool. They do well with their street courses. St. Petersburg being one. I've also heard a rumor talking about street courses that NASCAR is almost done with the deal to go back to Montreal.
Aha, so Cirque Villeneuve. Oh,
nice. Now, is it true? This is rumor, folks, okay? I just like throwing that kind of stuff out there. But Maybe by the time this is out there, that's already been inked. But these road courses that they make out of the city streets like St. Pete, man, they seem to do well for both series.
Well, at least for IndyCar, and I mean, and I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Chicago has started to impress me a little bit as far as the racing goes there. It's still a work in progress because, granted, we all know, Chicago, it just gets rainy as all the dickens up there every time that they've been up there to race that on the 4th of July weekend. So who knows? Maybe they'll find a time in the year where it's not expected to rain near as much, and we can actually have the Chicago street course race when it's planned to be dry, and nothing else. But if they really want to expand to something else and make it unique, hell, make it a multi-series weekend. Maybe bring Cup to Arlington if this new street course pans out the way it's supposed to, or maybe even take Cup and go to Belle Isle up in outside of Detroit.
That would be cool. Belle Isle in the Cup Series, that would be awesome. I don't think they run there anymore. They think they just had their
they have totally.
But,
that was IndyCar and Formula One that would do Belle Isle.
Yes.
And but they totally changed up that track now, and they're back on the streets of Detroit.
Right.
So, but either way, I mean, Belle Isle I think would be a great street course for NASCAR to really kind of sink its teeth into and see what happens there, because that's already a pre-established street course. Where unlike Chicago, where it's something where they have to build it up every single year. Hell, maybe even have a Cup run St. Pete. That would be actually.
I heard that the Cups, not Cup Series, but the Truck Series may be coming there. That's a rumor too.
That would be interesting, and and I mean, think about it from and this is something that I've thought about here for a hot minute now that we're talking about this here, is think about it from a Speed Weeks perspective. So, instead of having Speed Weeks being just 2 weeks, I mean, why not make it 3 weeks? Because we already have that technically with Coke 600 weekend and All-Star weekend, where it's almost 3 weeks worth of racing. Do the same for Speed Weeks at the beginning of the season, where you could have, say, the Clash at Bowman Gray or North Wilkesboro, or even Rockingham, for that matter. In fact, I'd love to see the Clash go to Rockingham.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That would be amazing.
Be awesome.
But then the week after that, have them go down and run the opening weekend, or have them run the Daytona 500 the week after that, like they normally do. And then the week after that, because that is the same weekend that IndyCar is going to be down at St. Pete, typically, as long as scheduling does what it's supposed to do. But at that point in time, have NASCAR run all three of their, or at least one, if not two races on that Friday and Saturday after IndyCar practice and qualifications. And then, of course, the IndyCar feature on Sunday.
That would be cool. Why don't you call up St. Pete and tell them that's what they need to do, bro?
And they're going to look at me and they're going to be like, what are you, stupid? We've already told them that.
Oh, Lord. But talking about Florida, this coming up weekend, all three series are going to visit Homestead-Miami.
Very early in the season, too. When we haven't seen it this early in the season in, 10 years at least?
I don't know, be honest with you. I would go down there.
I was going to say, if I go back and look at the scheduling, I want to say the last time we saw a Homestead spring race was probably, I would have to say at least 2015, if not even earlier than that. And it's been a hot minute. Folks, if you know any different, though, Facebook.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Feel free to comment and be like, hey, Wayne, you're an idiot. It happened in this year. Andy does enough already, so. But with that all being said here, folks, it's time to wrap it up once again. Hard to believe it already, Andy. We've already hit all of the highlights, the lowlights, everything that happens in the world of motorsports. We say we're the fastest. Who did I forget?
You forgot Driver Find in your Mighty Pillow, folks.
the Mighty Pillow. Good Lord, my pillow. Jesus Christ.
That's it. What did I say, Mighty?
Folks, I swear, I think smacking him upside the back of the head only rattles what little bit of a pea brain he's got up there. But either which way, yeah, we got to talk about a couple of final sponsors before we get out of here for the week here. That being one, Drive Refine. You got to make sure to visit driverefine.com and say hi to Joey Coulter and the crew over there. And again, it's not driver coaching. It's a form of it, but it's not exactly driver coaching. They work with you to better communicate with your crew chief, with your team, with, probably even fans for that matter of fact. I wouldn't be surprised if Joey works on that. But with that being the case here, again, you got to visit driverefine.com, driverefine.com. It's not just driver coaching. It's Drive Refine.
Drive Refine.
I swear.
Did I get it?
You're like 2 seconds off.
Oh, whatever, man.
And again, the folks over at MyPillow, visit mypillow.com/BRR and use the promo code BRR at checkout to have your order delivered for free. Shipped
for free.
For
deliver.
free. Yeah, shipped for free, delivered for free. Whatever analogy you want to use on that one there. Either way, it's going to make Andy giggle when I try and say shipped for free. And see, I'm right. What did I say?
Oh.
He laughs for no apparent reason when I say that. But either which way, folks, we've got to get out of here for another week of the main edition of Burning Rubber Radio. We swear we say we're the fastest 30 minutes in motorsports podcasting. Honestly, I think we're just the fastest podcast in motorsports history, period. No time limit when it comes to
I think we're
that.
like the fastest 22 minutes in motorsports.
Put it to you this way: we're faster than how best can I put this? I'm trying to think of what the slowest crew I've ever seen in my life is. Yeah, either way.
Your girlfriend says you're the fat. But anyway, we got to get out.
I was gonna say, don't make me call Sue. Don't make me call your wife. Because I guarantee you she'll come up and be like, Andy, what'd you say about him?
Unfortunately, she sticks up for that.
Hey, she loves me. What can I say? But with that said here, folks, we're going to get out of here for another week of Burning Rubber Radio. Everybody be good. Facebook.com/Burning Rubber Radio, X and Instagram.com/BR Radio _, YouTube.com/Burning Rubber Radio, Rumble.com, search for Burning Rubber Radio as well. And until Wednesday, we will see you guys again on the other side.